Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and here we are for week 4 of Import Month. I'm going to show off somebody that's a little bit newer in the collection than what I'd like, but still an interesting addition. This is the Scramble City version of Galvatron. This version of Galvatron, as I said, was a later release, as he was released in Japan only in 2005. So that makes him one of the newer entrants in my collection, age-wise, but still an interesting one due to the fact that he is, as you can see, more accurate to his cartoon appearances than the original Galvatron. I mean, let's face it, we'll scoot him here to the side and bring up Generation 1 Galvatron, and the differences are about night and day on here. But it then boils down more to just cosmetic appearance, as we're going to cover all the differences as this video goes on. In addition to the different paint job that this version of Galvatron now sports, he's also had some facial work done, as we'll zoom in on here. And you can get a good look at his face. The face is now a little sterner and a bit angrier in appearance, so that works out a lot better for him. Yes, there is the obvious matrix hanging from his neck. That's a reissue from another Japanese toy, so that's a nice addition. It goes well for fans of the 1986 movie. But what's also been done to this version of Galvatron is he has entirely new electronics running through his body. Instead of being powered by a 9-volt battery like the original toy was, this one is powered by 2 AAA batteries. They've also upgraded the sound effects chip inside him, so now instead of playing nothing but 2 different annoying laser sounds, he has 3 different things going for him. And they are all controlled from this switch here in the back. I'm going to keep that down out of the way for a moment so as we change it. Alright, we've got it centered all the way on the left. So we press the button here. Maybe. And his eyes light up. Makes a laser noise. That probably works better in his gun modes. Put the switch in the middle. And he makes the transformer sound. Now, wouldn't that have been cool as kids? No matter how many times we tried to imitate it, it never came out. Now, on the third and final click, Galvatron will speak. And of course, he's going to speak in Japanese, folks, so brace yourselves. Basically, translated roughly, his first statement comes out as, "You fools." The second one was, "Crush the Cybertrons," which would basically be the Autobots here in America. Then after that he said, "You're all useless," followed by, "I'll destroy you." And then lastly, it was, "Destron Army, transform." Destron, of course, is the Japanese name for the Decepticons. But aside from all those changes, and in many ways improvements, the toy is still basically the same as the original, especially in terms of articulation. As you can turn his wrists There's hands from the wrist at the side. Well, more at the forearm, really. Elbow joint here. There's a ratcheting joint here at the shoulder, so he can move his arm all the way around. He still has the joint here at his hip, so you can bring his legs up like that. About so far. And can we still bend him at the knee? Nope, doesn't feel like it. And he's laughing at me for it. And calling me a fool. Well, same to you, buddy. And he still does have the joint at the ankles. That's what happens on these shows, folks. You get what's staged by your toys. Okay, now let's go about doing the thing everybody wants to see. Let's get him transformed. Well, for starters, we got to take away all of his accessories, such as the Matrix and his gun, and of course the cannon. Now, to turn him into his main transformation, the large cannon, we'll open his arms up like so. We just rotate the hands inside, ratchet them downward a bit so they'll fit inside, and then just bring them back against him. And we got to rotate out his treads like so. We'll bring his legs together and then fold down his feet. Turn him around for a second so that we can shift the large handle out of the way and then twist him around. Bring the legs in. Yep. Fold this piece down here on top of him. Lock and secure the tank treads onto his arms. And finally, slide this out forward to conceal his head. And plug the cannon into the front. That adjusted a little bit better. And there we have it. His laser cannon mode, the most famous mode that he had. And I've reset the sound chip, so let's see how it works in this mode. Works pretty good. I think what we really need to see the light in it is we gotta go with a POV shot. Smile, my friends. That was a nice effect. Now, to go with the other mode that Galvatron has, we need to convert him into the laser pistol. Start by basically shift down the handle all the way like so. Separate the tank tread from his forearm and rotate it backside. Set off the sound effects just for fun. At least he's not calling me a fool again. And then rotate it upwards. And there you have it. One sleek, oversized laser pistol. Although I will admit, it does fit pretty good in my hand here. And we'll see what we can do with it. Once again, show it to you all so you can see the light going off in it. Post positive comments now. Yeah, like that would work. But all in all, it is still a very nice representation from what the original toy did. And the plastic on this one is somewhat sturdier, but of course this toy is still relatively new as compared to the Galvatron, to the original Galvatron, which was pretty used, so that may not be a favorable comparison. Now let's take a look at Galvatron's accessories, and 3 out of the 4, as you can imagine, are more or less the same ones that came with the original toy. Like, for starters, the laser barrel here. Probably the most sought-after piece for any form of Galvatron that's done like this one is. And for comparison's sake, this is the new version. This is the 1986 version. The 86 version here on the right appears to have a lot more of this glitter material inside it, which isn't as prevalent here in the one on the left. I don't know if that's coming through very well on the camera or not. Maybe down here on the lower portion it does appear to be coming through pretty clearly that there's obviously a lot more glitter in the 1986 one on the right versus the 2005 version here on the left. So that's something to watch for. And of course we have the laser connector. Here's pretty much the exact same mold as the 1986 original. In fact, it is the same, except for the fact that the 2005 one is in gray rather than in purple like the original is. I don't think you can see it too well here on the camera, but inside the hole and down along here where it connects to his shoulder, it's in the light purple that matches Galvatron's color. So that's a little bit of a nice touch. And all that's still reused from the original. Then of course we have his rifle, the exact same mold for it. And for comparison's sake, right above it is the 1986 one. The original 1986 one up here on the top, that one's molded in black, whereas the more recent one here, this one is kind of in a dark gray color. So again, that's something you want to watch out for if you're buying either of these toys loose. You want to make sure you're getting the exact right components. So always check with this channel or other preferred Transformers websites to make sure you're getting the right pieces. Because if the vendors won't let you check it, obviously they did not check it themselves. And then lastly, the piece I know a lot of you are waiting to see is a gold-plated matrix. And of course this gray chain on it, it's latched on here. It easily comes off just as easily as you're seeing here. It does come off very easily, but you can see the matrix in all its glory. The only unfortunate part about the matrix is that none of the G1 guys can really hold it, or at least hold it properly. So that's a downer, but it's still nice to finally get a matrix toy. And then of course we have the chain. Just a very short length of chain here. Very short. But since it can be detached, it is often found missing. So keep an eye out for that, folks. Alright, fans, now I'm going to show off to you the Japanese instructions. So It's at least something different that many of you probably have not seen. Up here it shows the Scramble City logo. Scramble City, of course, refers to many of the combiner teams where the body was one giant robot and the limbs could all be interchanged. That feature was used a lot more in the Japanese animated works than how it was played up here in America. Don't quite fully understand it, but apparently it was of some significance. I'd read this to you folks, but I'm not that fluent in Japanese. And I do know over here we got company contact info and some stuff. Of course, down along this side here they have the rub sign, which this toy does not possess, but I guess it's a nice throwback to the original toy. And then down here you've got all the pieces. The only thing that I'm missing for this toy is the tech spec card, so I do apologize, folks. We won't be looking at that on this toy. And down here we got how to put the stickers on him. And then a listing of his, what he's saying. Which I thank the Transformers Wiki for providing me with the translations. We got here the step-by-step instructions to turn him from the cannon into the gun. And starting from here, we start changing the cannon into the robot. Put him down here, how to put his weapons on. And lastly, how to attach the chain to the matrix. And lastly, down here we get how to insert his battery. And then, for one final bit, how to position the switch on his backside and what it does. Now, like I said, unfortunately, we don't have the tech spec card, so I won't be able to show that off to you. I do apologize again for that. Normally, I'm more picky about these things, but this one was done on a lark, and it was also one of the few that I had, so kind of got to take the good with the bad. But get him out of the way, and you can have a look at the box. As you can see, Galvatron would dominate all this in here. This little window up here, that would be where the matrix would be showing through. So that would get us all excited that it had it. And then, of course, you get some real nice action artwork here of Galvatron. Looking upset, as usual. Up here on the top of the box, they're showing off the fact that his eyes light up and makes laser lights. And we get the the three modes that he's in. And here on the bottom of the box, they show the basic transformation from one mode to the other. And then to the final mode. And like usual on the side of the box, we just get pictures of all the modes. It's the same thing here on the other side. And we go here to the back side. It's interesting to see the depiction of this mural here, showing off a lot of the toys that were being released in 1986. Or at least how they were here in America. I mean, this is a radically different mural than what we got for the 1986 line, and in a lot of ways, I like this one better. I mean, the American one just focused primarily on the playset feature that Metroplex was, and Triptychon was often cut off of the mural for the sake of getting it onto the box. So, seeing them have both of these gargantuan-sized Transformers ready for battle, this looks a lot better than the one Hasbro put on the American boxes, I must say. And we get some more stuff here at the bottom, including Takara's website in Japan. And the notice that this toy was made in China. No surprise there, folks. Over here on the side, shows off Galvatron, the different modes. And it's got him speaking here on the back side of the box. I think this is to also list what he's saying in the terms of what the toy is going to say to you. So, kind of get a nice tease of that. Very interesting. It's certainly not something all the American fans got to see. Now we get down to, what do I think of him? This version of Galvatron is a considerable improvement over the original Galvatron. Not that there was anything really wrong with the original Galvatron. It was good for what it did for its time. Sorry about that. But the only real complaint that I would have against the original Galvatron would be the annoying laser effects. This one having at least just one noise-making effect, and also having the transforming sound effect, that would have been a nice feature to have included on the original Galvatron as well. Instead of having two different laser noises, at least we could have had that and kept playing that as we tried to change our Transformers. A lot of us would probably try to compete with each other on that. How close can you get the toy completed before the sound effect's done? Yeah, we were geeks back then, but hey, what's wrong with that? But getting on with this toy, I just like it. I like it a lot, just more than what I can say for it. The color scheme, while it's not exactly perfect, it is significantly closer to how Galvatron was featured in the film and the TV series. So that's always a good thing going for it. The Matrix add-on, beautiful. What more could we have asked for? This version, even more so than the original. This is a top-tier toy. Both Galvatrons deserve to be on the top tier, but this one definitely earns it. And that concludes my review of the 2005 reissued version of Galvatron. If you like this video, please thumbs up it here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And please do share your thoughts in the comments section below. This is Sparkster1701. Galvatron, do you have any final thoughts to say to our folks at home? Sounds like I'm about to have some unfriendly company here, folks, so I'll be saying catch you all later.